I just want to emphasize as well that Kryvyi Rih is a city where Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was born. A few days before, there was also quite massive attack on the city, but previously, on the 2nd of April, nobody died. This time it was massive because the Russians used the ballistic missiles Iskander with a cluster charge, which means that the area of dissemination of the explosive is high. At least 6 playgrounds, six educational institutions were affected, residential buildings, and of course, it targeted the playgrounds where kids were playing on Friday evening. They had very little time after the air raid alert was turned off. They had very little time to actually leave the area and hide in the shelter. So Ukraine is mourning right now, and it's very hard to basically comprehend the death of these 9 kids.
Katerina, now it is 17 minutes past 3. A Russian missile attack that hit the Ukrainian city of Kryvyi on Friday has killed 19 people, including 9 children, according to local authorities. It's seen as one of the deadliest attacks in the conflict, as it has left at least 68 people injured. Alexander Vikul, the mayor there, has said on Telegram today that this was another bloody crime committed by a terrorist country. Well, let's speak to Katya Malofeyeva. He's a journalist based in Kyiv. Katerina, thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you very much for bringing Ukraine's topic to the light.
Katerina, can you tell us a little bit more about this attack? 9 children, 19 people, 68 people injured. Tell us a little bit more about the specifics of the attack.
Well, we keep saying all the time the deadliest attack, and it's this phrases keep raising despite these negotiations and talks that are happening, in Saudi Arabia with the presence with the presence of U.S. officials as well, but it doesn't stop. The attacks do not stop. So what happened in Kryvyi Rih, and I just want to emphasize as well that Kryvyi Rih is a city where Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was born. A few days before, there was also quite massive attack on the city, but previously, on the 2nd of April, nobody died. This time it was massive because the Russians used the ballistic missiles Iskander with a cluster charge, which means that the area of dissemination of the explosive is high. At least 6 playgrounds, 6 educational institutions were affected, residential buildings, and of course, it targeted the playgrounds where kids were playing on Friday evening. They had very little time after the air raid alert was turned off. They had very little time to actually leave the area and hide in the shelter. So Ukraine is mourning right now, and it's very hard to basically comprehend the death of these 9 kids.
Katerina, the Russian Defense Ministry saying that this was a high-precision missile strike, I'm quoting from them, targeting a meeting of unit commanders and Western instructors in a restaurant, and they claim up to 85 people were killed. So a highly precision missile strike. They've provided no evidence for this, and what you're hearing from the ground is that is not at all what has taken place.
This is not the first time Russians are claiming about targeting the so-called meetings of the military. Perhaps you remember a few years ago there was an attack on the cafe in Kramatorsk where one famous Ukrainian writer was killed, Victoria, and also last autumn, they targeted the hotel in Kramatorsk, Sapphire Hotel, and the Reuters media was, like media team was there, and the security advisor was killed, the British national. So it's not the first time Russians are claiming, but the video shows something different, right? So the videos that are circulating right now on media of parents who are shouting about their kids without, extremities that were just torn off. So, I mean, you can see by yourself. So there is no point of. I mean, as you can see that the reality is different from what they are claiming. This is actually relate to what Russians are trying to they're saying like about negotiations, but they don't want a negotiation. They don't want a peace. They continue affecting this.
And Katerina, just briefly on those negotiations, where are we? Is there a next round of negotiations expected? Can you give us an idea of where we're at with the negotiations?
Well, people here, they are following, of course, what's happening in Riyadh, but at the same time, we understand that the attention of the U.S. leader was, turned away at the moment, shifted away from Ukrainian topic. Now there is Greenland in discussions. We obviously understand that the peace, the truce will not happen this year, because there are also talks about potential attack of the Russians. In the next 6-9 months, there will be another push from the Russian forces. We anticipated in Zaporizhia region in the south and Donetsk region in the east. So Ukrainians do not believe in the peace deal. We understand that Putin doesn't want to stop, so he will recent Kursk counteroffensive push from Ukrainian forces from Sudzha also shows that the Russians, they want to get as much as more land as possible to put it on the table, or on negotiation table.
Katerina, as always, really good to speak to you. Katya Malofeyeva, the journalist based